I remember the exact moment my son looked me in the eye and said, "You're not my dad." The words hit me harder than anything I had ever experienced. This was the boy I had raised, the child whose scraped knees I had bandaged, whose nightmares I had soothed, whose laughter had once been the sweetest sound in the world. And now, he was looking at me as if I were a stranger. It hadn't always been this way. When their mother and I divorced, I fought for shared custody. I wanted to be in their lives, to make sure they knew I would always be there for them. But my ex-wife had other plans. She had remarried quickly to a man with more money, a bigger house, and a lifestyle I simply couldn't compete with. I didn't realize how much that would matter until it was too late. At first, it was subtle. They'd cancel weekend visits because they had plans. My calls would go unanswered, my texts ignored for days. I convinced myself it was normal. Kids get busy, they grow up. But then, things changed. When I did see them, they were distant. Conversations felt forced. They didn't laugh at my jokes anymore, didn't hug me the way they used to. They started calling their stepfather Dad. I tried to hold on. I tried to remind them of the years we had spent together, of the love we had shared. But they were slipping away from me, and no matter how tightly I held on, I couldn't stop it. The final blow came one evening when I picked them up for dinner. My son barely spoke the entire time, and when I asked what was wrong, he just shrugged. Then, out of nowhere, he said it. "You're not my dad." I froze. "What?" I managed to whisper, my throat tight. "Not really," he said, pushing his plate away. "I mean, yeah, you're my biological dad, but he's my real dad now." I looked at my daughter, hoping for some kind of reassurance, some sign that she didn't feel the same way. But she wouldn't even meet my eyes. That was the moment I knew. I had lost them. I could have fought harder. I could have gone to court, tried to force them to spend time with me. But would that have made them love me again? Would it have undone the years of distance, the way they had slowly replaced me with someone else? I made the hardest decision of my life that night. I walked away. I stopped calling. I stopped texting. I stopped showing up only to be treated like an outsider in my own children's lives. If they didn't want me, I wouldn't force myself on them. It broke me, but I told myself it was for the best. Years passed. I tried to move on, to accept the fact that I had lost them forever. But no matter how much I told myself I was fine, there was always an emptiness in me, a wound that never quite healed. I wondered about them every day. Were they happy? Did they ever think about me? Did they miss me at all? Then, out of nowhere, my phone rang. I almost didn't recognize the number. When I answered, I heard a voice I hadn't heard in years. "Dad, can we talk?" For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My daughter was calling me Dad. Not by my name, not with cold indifference. "Dad." I swallowed hard. "Of course, sweetheart. What's wrong?" She hesitated. Then, in a voice that sounded more like the little girl I used to know, she said, "He left. Mom's a mess. We don't know what to do." Their stepfather, the man they had chosen over me, had abandoned them. The man they had called Dad was gone when they needed him most. And now, when everything had fallen apart, they were looking for the man they had once rejected. I didn't know what to say. I had dreamed of this moment, of them realizing what they had lost. But now that it was here, all I felt was sadness. They had broken my heart. They had cast me aside, and now they wanted me back. I could have said no. I could have told them it was too late, that they had made their choice. But the truth was, I never stopped being their father. No matter how much they had hurt me, I still loved them. I always had. "I'll be there soon," I said, and I meant it.